Hey team Epic Redemption, it's Dawn. It's our Monday night call time, and I'm not going to take up a lot of your time this evening. I just wanted to share some information that hopefully will be valuable. Hopefully you can take away and start implementing, and share a little bit about how to start doing the work now so that you can see the success coming in the future. This coaching stuff, guys, is just like doing these fitness programs that we're talking about all the time. Think about when you do these programs and you do them and then you stop and then you have to start again and you have to regenerate momentum, and maybe you you're doing the work and then you kind of hit a plateau, and if you don't keep doing the work, that plateau is not going to change, right? And so when it comes to the business side of things, we have to keep going. Once we get the ball rolling, we need to keep pushing it, because if it stops, we have to regenerate momentum. And I'm going to kind of try to explain this a little bit better for you. Tonight, I want to talk about following up. If you do any personal development, if you follow anybody in business, sales, marketing, whatever, they're going to tell you, and you probably have heard it over and over, the fortune is in the follow up. And basically what they're telling you is that that's where the transactions happen. That's where sales happen. That's where we are converting people actually into customers and coaches. Think about when you get those ads that are sent over and over and over again to your email, right? You don't always click on that the first time. You probably ignore it. And then all of a sudden, you're like, hey, wait a minute, I actually do need that. And then you'll click on the email and you'll figure out what the ad is and you'll go use that coupon, right? Same thing happens. I'll get flyers in the mail, because I still get mailings, over and over and over again for some of this places that I like. But I ignore until it crosses my path and I remember, oh, I need something. Now, I'm not suggesting that you're spamming emails and that you're sending flyers and that you're obnoxious like that, but I want you to understand that illustration. I want you to understand that when you are talking and communicating with potential prospects, as you're building relationships, what you're talking about, what you're sharing, what you're doing may totally not be what your prospects are looking for. But the reality is, if you continue to build that relationship and you continue to offer the opportunity and you continue to invite them over time, when they are ready, either they're going to come to you because they're going to see one of your posts and say, oh my gosh, I'm ready, or you're going to catch them at the right moment. So right now I'm sitting at Success Club 6, not a stellar month. I've got a couple links out. I should hit my 10, which is one of my non-negotiables. And I want to tell you about the 3 individuals right now that have purchased from me. So 2 of them I started talking to about, well, one of them the very beginning of December. So we reconnected. It was somebody I knew a long time ago. Reconnected on Facebook and just started to rebuild a relationship. Checked in. How are you doing? What have you been up to for like 20 years? I commented on some of her posts. I asked some, engaging questions, and we chatted. And then we slowly moved into some of the fitness and nutrition discussion. And I slowly started to find out some of the medical issues she was having, some of the weight loss issues she was having. Over time, we continued, again, to build this relationship and talk about it, to the point where she was willing to try a Shakeology sample. She's not in a position where she can start working out quite yet. So we talked about that. I sent her a sample. We talked about how she could incorporate that, the benefits over the period of time. She ordered on February 12th, okay? Our first conversation was December 6th. Most of the people that you're talking to, the people that you're inviting this month, you will likely not see them convert for 2 or 3 months. I don't want you to get frustrated as you're inviting. I want you to continue to invite. But again, the key is in the follow-up. And it's not following up every week, inviting them over and over and over again. You need to be listening to what they're saying. You need to be hearing what they're saying and continue to build a relationship. I didn't continue to tell this girl, I think Shakeology is going to be really important for you and can potentially change your life. I continued to just have conversations with her, learn a little bit more about what she's going through, find out what she's done in the past. Again, continuing to build rapport, build a relationship, and then finally say, look, I think you should try this. I think it's worth a try. Guys, I want you to always remember that money back guarantee. Use that. As people are worried and concerned about jumping in, remind them, look, if you get this and you end up not even using it, there's a money back guarantee. Or you get it and you don't like it, money back guarantee. Get it, it doesn't work for you, money back guarantee. It's going to help ease some of that pressure in making a decision. So remember that and utilize that. So that was one of them. The other one is a friend of mine that I've known for like 10 years. And occasionally over time, I mention it. Hey, you should jump in. You should try my program. You should try this. She's somebody I know a little bit better. So she knows she's going to hear from me regularly. I connected with her before Christmas. She lives in Florida. I was in Florida. We were chatting. And she messaged me and said, hey, I want more information on this stuff. It's time that we start to work out. Now, I saw her that week. I sent her the link that week. And then life happened. The TV that she was going to use never came. Her husband wanted her to wait. Daughter was getting married. They were on it, right? But I continued to talk to her about it. And then we would talk about something totally different. Not every conversation was geared around, hey, are you ready to do this? But I would bring it up. And I would talk to her and ask, hey, are you ready? You mentioned, going back, listening to what she said, you mentioned that you and your husband were kind of ready to start making some changes. Are you ready to jump in? This is how I think it can be beneficial. These are some of the things that are available to you. Again, it was continuing to follow up. So she ordered this month. Again, our real conversation started around Christmas time. So about 2 months. The other person that ordered, she just ordered a couple days ago. She's somebody that I started connecting with, developing a little bit of a rapport. I couldn't even, over the summer. And we developed a relationship, and I talked a little bit about some of the stuff we were doing, and she was like, nope, I can't. Well, she ended up divorcing her husband after he retired from the military. She was on her own. Money was tight. She's got kids, all the things were going on. So I continued to talk to her. I continued to talk to her about work. We chatted around. Again, for her, she's like, I know I need to do stuff, but right now it's money. And she wasn't ready to hear what I had to say. They didn't drop off the face of the earth. Again, I continued to follow up. Well, guess what? Clean Week came out. Clean Week you can access, if you guys aren't aware, you don't have to have an on-demand account. You don't have to have digital streaming, and you don't have to sign up for the free trial in order to access Clean Week. Anybody can access Clean Week as long as they have just the free membership. Just the free Beachbody, they're connected to you as a coach. They don't have to do anything. If you need help figuring out how to do that, let me know. I'll walk you through. It's super quick and easy. So I talked to her about that. I was like, hey, there's this Clean Week thing. I want you to jump in my group. I want you to try it out. You don't have to pay anything. But if you want, for $35, you can also get the nutrition plan and 7 Shakeology samples just to do it along with it. So her response to me was, $35. I can do $35 because it was something that she was interested in, guys. She wanted to do this. I'm not pushing this on her. Again, it was a money issue. This is why it's so important that we're listening, that we're hearing what people are saying, that we're taking notes and writing it down. When Clean Week came out, I went back to everybody that said money was the issue. And I said, hey, do you think you could try this for $35? Because most of them are the one girl said, oh, 35, I can do 35. My husband won't notice 35. Because she wanted to go all in, but he said no. Okay. So it's important that we're listening to what people are saying. That's the follow-up. My follow-up with her was, hey, I know money was an issue. I know that you've talked about getting healthy. I know you have a trip that you want to start gearing up for. How about this option for $35? All over it. Once it was over, she loved Shakeology. Again, the conversation continued. We talked throughout the group, and then I followed up. Well, then she ends up having a surgery that had to do with her esophagus, and crazy stuff was going on. And then money was the issue again, because guys, it was Christmas time and she's got kids. But the important part was staying connected, talking to her through her surgery, genuinely praying for her through her surgery, following up, seeing how she was doing as she was homebound, couldn't go to work and was stuck in her house in crazy cold winter of New York. Again, it's the follow-up. It's having those conversations. And I know I'm talking a lot and not spitting a whole lot of information because I want you just to hear what some of the ways I'm talking to people about, some of the ways that it's being interjected. So it's not always hey, so when you're better from the surgery, you want to join my group. No, how are you doing? How do you feel? How's your nutrition? She wasn't able to eat solid foods. And we talked about, hey, I sent her the doctor's note that tells the doctor, hey, this is everything that's in Shakeology. I said, bring this to your doctor, see if it's something that you're allowed to have, because it might be a great alternative as you're not able to eat solids right now. This will give you some good nutrients. We were able to have that conversation. Again, money was the issue at that point. Here comes the next follow-up. Guys, if you are not paying attention to your back office and you're not watching these videos and you're not paying attention to the Empower to Change page, you're not going to move your business at all. And if you don't care, then you're probably not watching this anyway, and that's fine. But this month, the $160 and above challenge packs are $10 off. Guys, that means that annual all access challenge pack, that challenge pack where you can get a full year of streaming, a full month of Shakeology, the portion fix containers, and the hard copy of the nutrition plan, it's on sale for $150, down from $160. Now, granted, it's $10. And for most of the people that told you no because of cost, most likely it wasn't because of cost. They just couldn't justify it in their brain. This is your opportunity to go back to every one of those people that told you no at some point. Every one of them. If you're keeping track, you know everybody you've talked to. I want you to go back to all of them and say, hey, I know when I invited you to my group, the timing was bad, or it was, for whatever it is, you wrote it down. Timing was bad. You were about to go on vacation. Or you just finished paying off, Johnny's braces or whatever. Go back to what they told you and say, I don't know if you're interested now or not, but I wanted to let you know that this month, that deal we had talked about is on sale for $10 off. It may still not be the right time, and that's okay, but I just wanted to make sure that you knew in case you change your mind or in case this is better timing for you. I want to make sure that you take advantage of this deal because it's only for this month. It's going to go away. This is an opportunity to follow up. Something has changed, right? I was talking to Liz the other day and she said, I just followed up with a bunch of people the other day and they still weren't ready or they still hadn't answered. And I was like, but she didn't know about this $10 off. I said, guess what? You got new information. This is your in, this is your opening. This is your chance to say, I know when we talked, you weren't ready and you may still not be ready, but I want to make sure you have all the information you need to make the best decision for you. If you're still not ready, cool. I just wanted to make sure you knew that there was a change in the price this month. Simple, right? So I say we were going to do the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Who are we following up with? Guys, we need to follow up with everybody that has not purchased from us, right? Unless they are already a coach or they're already working with a coach. And even if they're already working with a coach, maintain contact with them, continue to talk to them because there are coaches that aren't working their businesses that fall off. And so if that happens at some point in time, maybe they'll come around and want to work with you. I mean, you're not going to spend the majority of your time focusing on them, but don't necessarily write them off. Continue to maintain communication, see how they're doing on whatever program they're doing, right? You want to follow up with anybody that's told you no, that gave you like a reason. Now, you're not going to follow up with every single person every single month all the time, depending on what their reason was. If they said no because they were pregnant and they didn't want to be working out and they're only on month 7, continue to check in on them, see how their pregnancy is going, continue to be a friend and an ear for them. But then after the baby's born, give them a little time and then say, hey, I know your baby's here. Have you thought about what you want to do for your health and fitness now the baby's here? Or whatever it is. You're going to follow up with everybody that you've already talked to, everybody that you've already invited. And you're going to figure out what that timing looks like for you. So that's the who. The what? Every time there's new information, you want to share that with them. Every time new information, maybe it's a new month, you have a new group. I have people that know every time I have a group, I'm going to shoot them a message. Hey, I know last month you weren't ready. I just wanted you to know this is my next group. Right? Who, what? Every time there's new information. Every time there's a change. Every time something cool happens. Who, what, where? On Facebook, use voice messenger, text message, email, over the phone, in person. I've used all of them. Guys, I stopped at a friend's work. Granted, she works at a liquor store. But I stopped there the other day because I wasn't able to connect with her on text. I wasn't able to connect with her on Facebook. She wasn't answering her phone. Now, this might feel a little bit extreme, but I was comfortable popping in on her because we have had a conversation. I know her why. I know her deeper why that she wants to do this. And I know she's scared to do it. And the reality was she was out of work for a while because she had the flu. So I was able to pop in, see how she was doing. It totally made her day. We were able to talk a little bit further about what we were doing. If you live near somebody, get with them in person. Show them what the streaming looks like. I was able to open up right on my phone and say, hey, this is what I'm talking about. These are all the things. This is what this looks like. And I was even able to show her. I think that she'll probably start with something like UV2. And I showed it to her. She was like, yeah, that's what I like that. So guys, as far as the where, you figure out your people. I do a lot of Facebook voice messages through Messenger, a lot of them. Some people think they're weird. Some people look forward to them. They still continue to tell me no, but they'll respond. They're like, you're the only one that leaves me voice messages, and it cracks me up, and I think it's cool. So I do it, right? Other people, I know they're not on Facebook, so I text them because I have their text. Or they're not really on Facebook much, but maybe I'll send them a direct message on Instagram. You'll start to figure out what works, but use all those forms. If you can get somebody on the phone, get them on the phone. Why? Why are we following up? Guys, the fortune's in the follow-up. And we're relationship building. We want to build relationships so that we can get these people in and help make real changes in their lives. And then they'll possibly turn around and become a great coach for you and be able to pay this forward to somebody else. So we got the who, the what, the where, when, why, and how. Guys, we talked about it. Or I just talked a lot about it. Fortunes in the follow-up, it's so important. And the follow-up isn't just to close the sale. A lot of our following up is building the relationships. I want you guys to think about the coach that you signed on with. Most of you are personally sponsored by me, and most of you did not say yes to me the first time, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. And I tend to be salesy, not like creepy salesy, but that's just my personality in general. I'm selling something even if I don't sell it. But you still connected, and you still eventually came on board. Now, don't do it exactly the way I do it. Don't use the exact words that I use. You need to make it your own. You need to be authentic. But just continue to have those conversations, build those relationships, do them now. Guys, you need to be inviting, consistently. You need to be inviting every week. I'm not going to say you have to invite every single day, but you want to be inviting 3 to 4 days a week and then use the other 2 days as follow-up, or do a couple invites and a couple follow-ups every single day. Because whoever you talk to this month, those are going to be the people that will likely purchase from you in month 3, possibly month 4. Sometimes it's even farther down the line because you're going to continue to build and follow up. But if you get super frustrated and super discouraged that you invited 100 people this month and none of those people wanted to jump in, and then you just stop, guess what? You're going to have to start over again. I got myself into a really rough spot when we were moving, and I didn't do a lot of good inviting the 1 month. And then the next month, I counted, and I invited 150 new people that I had never invited before. And I barely squeaked out Success Club 6 that month with 150 new invites. Barely squeaked it out. Got it the last minute. But guess what? 2 months later, I hit Success Club 10 for 8 months in a row because of the hard work that I put in there. And then I continued. I didn't continue to maintain the 150 new people because I was running out of people and I was starting to work on building that up. But I continued consistently inviting every day, consistently following up every day, consistently building new relationships so that I had new people to invite the next month. That's how you start to move your business forward, guys. So that's what I got for you tonight. I'm sorry I was a little bit longer, but this is so important, especially if you want to work this business and you want to create some momentum and some longevity. Please let me know if you have questions. Please let me know if there's a better day, night, time to do this, because I want to be sharing what's valuable to you. I want to be connecting with you where you're at. So let me know how I can better serve you so that we can help more people. That's what we're in here to do. And guys, the more people you help, the more money you can make. Let's face it, but there's the incentive of getting that nice commission. And isn't it cool when you get a commission for the hard work you do, helping people change their lives? So that's what I got for you tonight. I look forward to talking to you next Monday. Hope you have a fantastic evening and a fantastic week. Go out there and invite and follow up like nobody's business. Take care.